Address. I'd like to thank all of you for coming and taking some time out of your day today to celebrate with us. First of all, we would like to start today's meeting by singing. We'll be listening to a rendition of the national anthem sung by our very own Caroline Crawford. If everyone can please stand. Thank you very much, Caroline. That was beautiful. Mayor Arturo Garino was born and raised in Nogales and has always been an active member in our community as a firefighter, law enforcement officer, and public works director. Mayor Garino was elected to the city council seat in 2006 and served part of his term as vice mayor. In 2010, he was elected mayor of the city of Nogales. As mayor, he has worked to increase community involvement and economic development initiatives, among others. Mayor Garino has been involved in nearly a dozen community and regional governmental and nonprofit organizations, ranging from the Nogales Community Food Bank to the Arizona Arts Commission. Mayor Garino is an outspoken advocate for the safety of the city of Nogales and the General Border region as a member of the U.S.-Mexico Border Mayors Association and the Homeland Security Advisory Council. Mayor Garino is accompanied by his wife, Kathy, who have been together for 30 years. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and fellow Nogalians, it is my pleasure to introduce to you a man who loves Nogales with all his heart. Please welcome Nogales Mayor Arturo Garino.
All the time when I was in high school and whatever I did, nobody gave me a standing ovation. Thank you very much. And I want to thank the directors. They started it. That's great. You know, one of the things about Nogales that I want to start off is that you know, one day in Nogales we have snow. It's winter. You know. Then the next day is spring. And I'm sure tomorrow will be summer. I mean, we can't beat that. Nowhere in the United States or in the state of Arizona you can have that. So that's why I say that people should relocate to Nogales, bring their businesses to Nogales, and be part of our community. But that's a different point, but we'll get to that. But this is very important to me that, you know, I got up this morning and I looked out the window and I said, well, this is a great day. And it's a great day to be with all of you here. And I want to be here with me, my fellow councilmen, and all the directors of the City of Nogales, our team, and that is so important for our community that we will take Nogales in the future. We will take the goals that we have and accomplish everything for every one of you and everyone, not only in the City of Nogales, but also the County of Santa Cruz. First of all, I want to thank all the elected officials that are here with us. I'm not going to be saying names because I know I'll miss one or two of you. And sometimes when I sit in the audience and that happens to me, and they miss me, I feel a little uncomfortable. I have to raise my hand to make sure I'm there. So I don't want to do that to you. Carlita. Somebody raising their hand already. But I just want to thank you very much for being here. And it's very important to me that you're here because you're part of the community, you're part of the leadership of this city and this county. And so, thank you very much again. One of the things I want to start with is that this past year, we've been struggling. That cell phone is probably mine. Has the same ringtone. Oh, it's the Vice Mayor. Vice Mayor, oh nice. But one of the things that we've been struggling for the past year is the perception. The perception not only of our city, but the perception of the southwest border. This is something that it's very dear to me and very dear to Mayor Gomez, which is from Douglas, and him and his wife are sitting here with us. And it's very important that he's here with us because both of him and I have been struggling in this issue with representatives of the executive board of Siegel and also representatives and also members of the Border Mayors Association, which we created this past year, which is very important for our border region. But that perception, when I came into office, was one of the key points that I needed to address. For the reason is that when you have a bad perception and you have different people north of us and other states that don't frequent the border, don't know us as the people of Nogales and the importance of our community, they always point south for either reason. And there might be complications, yes, in Nogales, Sonora, and Juarez, and other cities along the border, but it's not Nogales, Arizona with the issues, but it always affects us. It affects us in the reason that people always want to know where they want to locate to a community. I would do the same thing, to locate to a community that, what community it is, you know, by going to the Chamber of Commerce or by going to your city government, what it is. But sometimes people don't do that. What they do is they look at the media. They look at the newspaper, they look at the television, and they say, you know what? And then they look at border wars, thanks to National Geographic. And that puts us in the limelight, but not good. That puts us, that we have problems. So that perception slowly has been going away. That dark cloud above the city of Nogales is slowly going away. We're coming into, hopefully, a cloud of spring rains and a good rainbow. And that's the direction we need to take. And you as a community need to help us out on this. And a lot of the things that we've been doing also, with the help of Mr. Gomez, the mayor, and I just want to mention one thing before I go any further. I invited Mayor Escamilla from San Luis. He wasn't able to be here with us. I spoke with him yesterday, but he was also very important and instrumental in helping us on the Border Mayors Association and also the perception of the border. We've been very successful this past year. One of the things that I wanted to mention also when it comes to perception is that we need to work together as Ambos Nogales. Last February, we created, and actually through both consulates, the American consulate and the Mexican consulate, the Sisterhood Agreement, this historic document that will put us in a position to work together in the area of history, the area of education, the area of manufacturing, trade, arts, and even sports. Those are the areas that we're tackling right now as both cities. So that is very important when it comes to perception. That's very important to start building that image that we need to build as citizens and as government. governments and its leaders within our community. You know, I don't know if most of you were here during the inaugural, and I had a 6-page speech that I was going to read, and I kind of put it underneath the podium. I said I wasn't going to do that, but I have to read some of this information. For the reason is that there's so much of it that I believe that you need to know about this. And this information is actually information that comes from our directors that have been instrumental in helping us, helping the city council, and helping you, and taking us in the direction that we need to go in our city. And I want to start with the police department. The police department, for the past year that I've been in office, and actually 2 years prior to that, we have become, not only to the police department, but also, I'm going to pinpoint the sheriff's department, our state police, and our federal law enforcement officers have made sure that our city of Nogales is one of the safest cities in the state of Arizona and in the border region. That is image building. That is putting us in a position that whoever wants to discuss or find information of how to relocate within our city, that is information that is important. That is what we need to put out. That is something you need to take us there. As leaders of the community, you need to be able to go, when you visit other communities, say, you know what? Nogales is safe. Nogales is a sound community. Nogales has a very good government, a good leadership. Come visit Nogales, a business-ready community, a community that we can take you in that direction. And the police department and these law enforcement agencies have been doing that for us. They've been working closely with the Stone Garden money, which is funded by the federal government for southbound traffic, which is very important for us because that assists us in not only education but also in salaries for our law enforcement, something that everybody's looking after nowadays with the economy the way it is. They have implemented the 411, the anonymous primary work tip line, police department, and they have secured $1.7 million in grants for the city of Nogales. That is a task. That is a task for our police department. And one of the other things that is very important right now, and it's a goal in the direction that we're going, we're conducting a needs assessment study for the police department. And that needs assessment study will identify, like it says, needs and staffing needs and training, and also a possibility of finding funding for a future police department, a station for our department, not a substation, but a police station. And we need to work at that as council, and we need to work as a community in that. And Chief, I want to thank you very much for your work on this, and this is important. This is very important for our community. The fire department, they've been, this is one department that's been working very closely with community outreach programs. And I'm very proud of the fire department. I also wore that uniform. I wore the chief of the police department, I wore that one. I also wore the shirts. But I want to say that the fire department, for the past 3 years, I believe, they've been training our students, the freshman class in the high school, with CPR and first aid. That is a task. That is important because these children can help, not only assist their families or anybody they come up in the street that needs that type of assistance, that type of first aid, but also can be future firefighters, and they can work in that same field, which is very important. So over 2,000 children have been through their fire prevention classes. They've also improved revenue through EMS billing outsourcing. That's also very important. And one of the goals of the fire department is actually to go after grants and to improve their EMS electronic reporting system. Those are the tasks that they have, and I strongly believe that they're going to be successful in this. And Chief Robles, I want to thank you very much for that too, sir. You've done a great job. Now, public works, that's a task. That's a task. What I'm going to do with this information I'm going to give you is I'm going to break it up from the Community Service Director, the Public Works Director, Alejandro Bárcenas, Mr. Bárcenas, Mr. Guerra, Engineer, and Mr. Tapia, who is our newest member, and he's in Planning and Zoning, which is so important for our business running community and our facilitation in the permit process of the city of Nogales, which we need to improve 100%. That's image building. That's the way to do it. We've in the area of public works, we have improved. If you notice on the capital improvement, you notice Morley Avenue. That project is not complete yet, but that was so needed. I wish I could remember back far enough to know when that street was actually made, but it wasn't in my lifetime, and I'm 30 years old. So it's been a while. That is an improvement. That's a major collector road. That's a road that takes you to our downtown area, historic area. That is so, the need of that project was in everybody's mind. Every time I would speak to anybody at City Hall, or any time I would talk to members of the City Council, they would all say, Mayor, when are we going to do more of the avenue? And I said, it's coming around. And that's part of continuation. Because actually that money, we talked about it and we approved last administration. That's also image building. Because what you do in the prior administrations, you do not throw away with the trash. You accept it as a new administration, bring it on board, and continue with those projects. That's how we're doing these projects, is because of the past administration. Very important for our city. Morley Avenue is just one of them. I'm going to mention it in line. Villa Coronado, you've also noticed that we've been doing some infrastructural issues there. Sewer and water. Pretty soon, our Public Works Department in-house will paint all that area to also be able to stretch the buck, like we say, so we can complete and do more work with our monies that we have. You remember we did Terrace Avenue, the first block of Terrace Avenue? Well, we got the second block on right now. We should have that done within the next 3 weeks. That's also image building, because that's our downtown area. That's very important for people that visit our city, so that they can see this area. And also accept and appreciate our pedestrian opportunities that we have downtown. We're going to be doing also the Dunbar area. We did the infrastructure on that. We're also going to be doing Walnut Street from Arroyo Boulevard all the way to McNabb. That's the process of being bidded out in the next 2 weeks. That's very important also. That project has been in the making for several years. What we did on that one, we put in two different sources of funding. We used $500,000 from the CDBG money to use in that, and then the rest is going to be done with capital improvement money. So it's going to be a very good expenditure of money that we're going to be doing on that, very needed. Then we're going to do Crawford Street, historic Crawford Street. That area is very important for our community. So if we continue with these projects, hopefully some of these you'll see completed this year. Others will probably see them start this year and be completed the next year. But that is part of continuation, ladies and gentlemen. And that is image building in our community. We're going to be also doing Corinthian Garden and also Manila. That's on Harrison Road. Those projects are not paving projects. Those are actually flood issues that we have over there. We're going to do some mitigation project there to assist those residents in those areas. And I want to thank you very much, 3 gentlemen that I mentioned right now. And Mr. Tapia, you have a task in hand, sir. And I'm glad you came on board and you bring your experience to the city of Nogales. And this is very important. We're just one person shy of completing our Public Works Department, and that's our Utilities Director. But we'll talk about that when we get to Human Resources. But I'm going to go to Parks and Recreation. Now this is kind of strange, you know. We tasked Mr. Bachiller on the Public Works, and you know, Parks and Recreation. Now we have cemetery. is his. It's actually kind of like a park, you know, if you look at it. But he was tasked with the construction of columbarium. And that columbarium, you know, is a project that's actually, I don't know if I should say it this way, but that's the only way I can say it, that kept alive the city's ability to provide critical service to our community. And alive the cemetery just don't go away. But that's you know, the way I look at it, because it's a project that's keeping that opportunity, because, you know, we've run out of space in the cemetery. So as a city, we don't plan to go into the cemetery business anymore, except for our own city cemetery. So if there's anybody out in the audience that plans to construct a cemetery, maybe you want to talk to the planning, zoning director, and engineering, we're going to need your assistance. Over 1,500 participants in the summer recreation program, employing 50 students and 10 adults. That's what's done to Parks and Recreation. That is a task, because the children that play, that just don't come to the gymnasium to play, but they also have performances, they have dance recitals, there's art, there's everything, and they do a lot of work with Hilltop Art Gallery. So those are projects that are away from columbarium, but into the recreation, the realm of recreation for Mr. Bachelier. There's also, we've done 2 parks. One of them is halfway through the Capitol Park on Western Avenue. We're in the process of designing bathrooms for that park. Then we went in the first phase of the Meadow Hills Park. That was completed. Now we're in the process of working on the second phase, which will have basketball and also playground equipment. That is very important for that area. We want to create different green areas and different public art within our community. The other one is something that the members of the City Council and myself, we worked on, the Mingus Memorial. You know, that's not only a green area, but it's also historical. It's also a native of ours. You know, a legendary jazz musician that was born in Camp Little. Historic. So we're going to, the members of the City Council and myself, we provided a property right in the corner of Bejarano and Western Avenue, which we're going to be doing public-private funding on that. And that's the direction we're going to be going in a lot of these green areas and small parks. That's the direction the whole country is going, in public-private funding. So we're going to conduct that type of business so that we're able to afford these projects, this public art, and also have them for future generations in our community. I want to say that that the demand in the city parks has increased 70%. I wish we had more funding and more opportunities to be able to help Mr. Bachelier in a lot of his efforts. But one of them right now that we're doing, we're hopefully to complete this year, that is actually 10 years old, is a soccer field on top of the hill right behind us here on Fletcher Park. We've already ran our water lines and sewer lines up there for the bathrooms. We'll have a full-grown or adult-grown type of soccer field that can be divided also for children to play, and with 2 parking spaces. That is right behind us. Hopefully, we should have that completed this year. Though we need to be able to address these issues, and I wish we had more areas that we could work with within the area of recreation, for the simple reason that the children need a lot of the support, and we need to help the children out. And I know that's one of the efforts and one of the goals that Vice Mayor has that she's been working on. So like I say, as a team and as its council and directors, we need to come up with these goals and be able to be successful in this area. MIS department. The MIS department is actually assures that all computers and communication systems are fully functional and they are constantly updating and upgrading. Offer new and constantly enhanced improvements to the city website. I don't know if you've been to the website, but it's improved. Our website has improved tremendous, and we want to make sure that it continues giving out the information needed for anybody to go there, so that you can also be able to even enjoy YouTube. And I don't know, is this a YouTuber? Is it beautiful? Oh, there she is. Yeah, it'll be on tomorrow. So take a good shot of that one. And also, I want to say that they have replaced all public computers at Rio Rico, Sonora, and Tumac libraries, which is another important information about our image building and our opportunities with the county. So they've also installed 40 laptop computers in the patrol cars within the city, which has improved the information needed from the police department. I want to thank you very much also. Is he there? Jose? Thank you very much, Jose. In the area of finance, this is about the most important one of all, because this is what makes the city, makes and breaks any city. I'm going to read this one. At a time when cities across the country are filing for bankruptcy and significant staff layoffs, and the city of Nogales has been fiscally responsible in although facing ever-decreasing values. Staff has kept operating in the black, avoiding deficit spending without major sacrifice. That is what we've been doing in the finance department. It's been a task. The city council and myself and the finance department and the city manager worked very hard last year to make sure that none of our employees were laid off, and that we didn't cut any services to you and the residents of the city of Nogales and everybody. So this department have been looking for all the opportunities. We, at this point right now, we continue to the effort to strengthen internal fiscal control continues to earn respect of the investment world that has resulted with the city having a AA rating. That is very important for communities to have. We can brag about that. We have good credit. We're financially sound, and we will continue to be that. And we should be proud as elected officials, members of the council, we should be proud of the finance department. Terry, thank you very much for your work and all the employees in that office. I know it's a task, and you're working on the budget right now, so we expect to continue with this budget, and as members of the council, we have to make good decisions as council so that we're able to have the services needed. And this is good City of Nogales water. You notice I'm drinking water from our own well. I don't know. They told me to keep it to 20 minutes. Am I close? Mr. Corey? Okay. Human resources. This year the human resources have been very busy. Actually, they have employed some very important positions that for almost a year we were lacking. You know, the community service director that I mentioned prior, who is community service / public works director, who is in charge of that whole department from engineering all the way down to fleet and all the other 7 departments within. Also, Mr. Tapia, that I mentioned, planning and zoning, very important position. And also the new utilities director, which I don't know who he is, but he'll be on board within the next week or so. I believe Mr. Kissinger, yes. So the human resources department has been very active on doing that, and I'm very proud of their work. They've also had some opportunities within the department at City Hall, and they've accomplished those hirings. So let's continue with that, and also something that we're going to have to have pretty soon is Mr. Dilly's second evaluation. He's waiting for that one, and I'm sure it'll be good. And I want to thank you very much for we have a replacement for Eliana. Elga had to, she's outside the city right now. She had to. So then the housing. Hector, you've done a great job in housing, and everybody should be proud of that, because There's so many people out there that really need housing, and sometimes their luck is not as fortunate. So with HUD and with the experience of Hector, we've managed to keep our housing up to date. We've managed to keep our housing also in the best condition ever. He acquired over $400,000 from the HUD program to be able to restore, paint, put double insulated windows in a lot of our units, bring them up to par, which is very important for our community. It beautifies the area, and also that is image building. That is very important. Hector, I want to thank you very much for all your work there. Now to the library. And this is when it comes to education, Alfredo Velasquez and a lot of people here in education, Mr. Larona, and also Ben Grace from the library district that we have, and the support that we've always had with the county and the school district. There was over 133,000 visitors to our libraries. You know, for a city like Nogales, 133,000. That's a lot. Over 1,227 residents with library cards were assigned this past year. 429 programs for children, including homework help for over 6,500, and also spending time with special needs children. The hour of spending time. That is very dear to me, because I have a niece with Down syndrome. And it's important for the library to do this. So I am proud of the library for the work they're doing, and also for the opportunities that they've given our residents in the community. They've also helped with the creation of a program to provide training for skills to find new jobs. So these are the departments. This is what your city employees, your directors, this is what your city council has been doing for the past year, and this is what we plan to do for our next goals. But the most important thing of all, before I continue, I want to thank the city council and the efforts that they've done. I also want to thank Mr. Ramon Felix. He's not here with us today. He has to be in therapy, but he's struggling and he's making an effort to continue being city councilman for the city of Nogales with his illness. And members of the city council, you have helped me build consensus within this council and within the city of Nogales. And I'm very happy for that, and I hope you are happy, because we will be successful as a council, and we will be successful as a government. And Mr. Machado, I want to thank you very much for the work your office has done, acquiring the money that was owed to us from Rio Rico Utilities, which is very important to us. The work you're doing with ADEQ, IBWC on the IOI, which is tremendously important for the city of Nogales. I want to thank you very much, Mr. Machado, for that. Mr. Dilly, your efforts and your work, your hard work as a city manager is very good to me, and I'm sure it's good for the city council and for the citizens of Nogales and all the directors. Even though sometimes you spend 4 hours on meetings, but I'm sure that when you spend that time with them, they learn a lot, or either they give you a lot of information. But Mr. Hood, continue the good work. Thank you very much, sir. To finalize this, it is very important that Mr. Reese is here with us, Greg Lucero is here with us, another Mr. Juan Pablo Guzman, Felipe Fuentes that belong to the county. That we continue in partnerships, that we continue working together for our community, that we continue building the image that we deserve for our city. Consulado, Jaime Paz y Pueblo, muchas gracias por todos sus esfuerzos. Chad, American Consulate, thank you very much, because the efforts of both consulates, ambos Nogales is working together. And that is very important. That's image building. So what we need to do is continue as elected officials and as leaders in our community and strive in that direction to build the image of our city and our border region, to assist all communities along the border to be the best communities so that we can continue having the trade that is needed with Mexico and the opportunities for growth within our areas. And I want to thank you very much for being here with us, and together we can make a difference. Juntos saldremos adelante. Muchas gracias.